the government. Peasants bitter over years of high taxes, harsh labor, and severe penal system. All justifications for a civil war that would result in the beginning of a dynasty that would rule China for more than 400 years. A family of rulers so influential that today Chinese call themselves the people of the Han. As technology bloomed and trade expanded, most women stayed at home and cared for their families. Now step into the life among the Hans.
Han Dynasty would value reverence, generosity, truthfulness, diligence, and kindness, just as Confucius taught for the next 400 years, and create wondrous technologies that would make a great impact on the world trade along the Silk Road.
Confucianism was a very significant belief system during the times of the Han Dynasty. Though Confucius had lived 400 years before, he was so significant that in fact to receive a job in government, you would be tested on your knowledge of Confucianism.
Wu Di, who was the 7th emperor of the Han Dynasty, created a school that would teach the qualities of Confucius that he wanted his government to embody to hopeful job applicants from all over China. This was his most efficient way to teach culture. Of course, when your government has an enthrallment over the ideas of Confucius, it easily spreads to the rest of your culture.
This fascination with Confucian ideas spread to the cultural part of the dynasty. It dictated how women would devote their lives, and this was to their families, though they also played an important role in their families' economic lives through duties in the home and work fields.
Now, women in the upper class would live much different lives unless they chose otherwise. Taoist and later Buddhist nuns were able to gain an education and lead lives apart from the family, while other upper class women who lived in an aristocratic and landowning families also pursued an education or owned small shops or practiced medicine.
Women in China during these times worked hard to keep their families afloat, caring for children and completing tasks around the house, while others got an education influenced by all the work of a single man called Confucius.
As the Chinese Empire expanded under the Han Dynasty rule, through conquest, it brought people of many different cultures together. To unify the empire, the government began promoting assimilation, which is a process where a nation forces or encourages a subject, people, to adopt its culture.
To encourage this, the government sent farmers to settle newly colonized lands, causing them to intermarry. The government also created schools where they would send local people to be taught the lessons of Confucius.
Not only did the government help with this assimilation, but several writers also did. Sima Qian was able to help unify China through the recording of actual historical events. He was so popular that he is called the Grand Historian after writing the records of Grand Historian and history of the former Han Dynasty. Ban Biao and his children also wrote a guide called Lessons for Women that called upon women to be humble, obedient, but also industrious.
The Han Dynasty made great innovations during its reign, starting with the most important, paper. When paper was created in 105 AD, the Han Dynasty used silk for writing. This was much more expensive, so when paper was put into this situation, it made a huge difference. Now education was cheaper because books became cheaper, and the bureaucracy expanded when governmental documents were written on paper for record keeping.
During the times this dynasty existed, agriculture came into importance. It became the dynasty's main economy because of the growth of the population to 60 million. With so many mouths to feed, farming became the most important and honored occupation. This urged the Chinese to create a better system of farming, so they perfected the plow with 2 blades to quicken production.
As trade grew along the Silk Roads, the Chinese required a better way to carry more goods. This came in the form of collar harnesses. The harness gave the ability for horses to carry heavier loads. Now the merchants were able to carry more valuables.
The Chinese Empire that disintegrated, but didn't leave without a legacy. After creating paper and other significant inventions, it was impossible for anything else.